Porsche released the details on the new GT3 with Touring package today, a car that a lot of us have been looking forward to with quivering anticipation. It is of course pretty much a 911R, a rear-wheel drive, manual transmission, naturally aspirated GT3 without the big rear spoiler. All the same reasons we love the 911R, but of course the 911R was never for us mere unwashed mortals. It was a limited edition, investors only car. And of course, a lot of people don't realize that. The 911R was never sold to the general public. It was pre-sold before it was even announced to Porsche insiders and 918 owners. And of course, it was a very limited run, only 991 were made. And of course, anyone wanting to buy one secondhand, they were just about impossible to get. And while their original list price was $190,000, they were selling for over $1 million for a while there. But with the release of this touring package model in the GT3, the price of the 911R is bound to come down, and I've noticed that it's come down already. My local dealer just happens to have a 911R in stock at the moment, and that's listed at $430,000, I believe. So already a massive decrease in that price. Still twice as much as when it was new, but still a substantial reduction. And so I'm hoping that the GT3 with Touring package is a model that is available to us all, with all those special features that we loved about the R. So speaking of the R, what are the real differences between the Touring package and the R? Well, there isn't a lot really. The main difference, of course, is that the R is based on the 991.1 styling, whereas the GT3 with Touring package is of course based around the more modern 991.2. But there are obviously other minor styling differences. But on the whole, these two cars are pretty much the same. They have the same engine, they have the same 6-speed gearbox, they have the same rear-wheel drive, they do the rear spoiler a little differently, but really what makes them both so special is that they're both under-the-radar Porsche sleepers. Cars that, unless you're looking closely, you don't realize you're dealing with a very, very special model because there's no big wing on the back giving the game away. So let's have a look inside this R while we're here. This particular one has got this red steering wheel, which was never factory supplied. I think this is third-party supplied to match some of the coloring that's on the outside of this vehicle. If it was my car, I'd switch that back straight away. You know, what made the R's special is they had the houndstooth seats, and they had the individual numbering on the where the cup holders are there. Of course, there's the 6-speed gearbox, very nice, and just a few other little clues. But yeah, you can see 911R on the dash, 911R written on the sills as you get in, and down on the infotainment system you can see that there's the extra buttons because there's no buttons on the steering wheels on these models. In the center you get the extra option for the electronic stability option, where you can have it on but the traction control off. You also get the front bumper lift in this particular one as well. And looking around the outside, we've got that beautiful body shape of the R, and I really love the back grille of the R as well. But you can now tell that it's a 991.1. You know, look at the running lights there. That's 991.1 running lights. They're actually starting to look a little dated now. Still one of the best looking 911s that Porsche has ever made. I just adore the 911R, as I'm sure all of you do. So I'm very excited to see the GT3 Touring package is out. It is going to be a very exciting car, and I'll certainly try and get my hands on one as soon as I can to have a closer look around. And as a consequence, let's hope that the 911R comes down in price to the point that people might actually drive them instead of just having them parked up in garages everywhere, because it's such a shame the 911R never gets driven. It's just an investment car. And the best thing about the GT3 Touring package is that there's going to be enough of them made that people will actually drive them, unlike the 911R. The 911R is just kept in garages, and it's the saddest thing because they're the most beautiful car, and for them, none of them to ever get driven is just a crime. So we look forward to seeing the GT3 Touring package on the road, and we look forward to people actually driving them, which is fantastic. And it might drive the price of the R down to the point that people might drive those as well. Let's hope. Anyway, it's all good news from Porsche, and if you guys have got any questions about this or any comments, please leave them below. That'll be appreciated, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye then.